Hola, muy buen día a todos. Los agradecemos porque nos acompañen en un webinar más de la Federación Mexicana de la Industria Aeroespacial. De igual manera, queremos invitar a la audiencia a que nos apoyen apagando lo que es su cámara y su micrófono con la intención de poder tener una mejor participación durante nuestra sesión. Muchísimas gracias. Bueno, el día de hoy tenemos un tema sumamente interesante que es referente a materiales compuestos dentro del sector aeroespacial y tendremos pues también un invitado muy especial, que es Doug Perry Hunter. Y también mencionar que en esta ocasión nuestro webinar será transmitido en inglés. Entonces, por tal motivo, pues vamos a empezar a cambiar de idioma y pues un gusto que estén aquí con nosotros. Our today's webinar is going to be called Composite One, the widest array of aerospace composite raw materials. We are having today Doug Perry Hunter, which is the application manager process materials from North America in Composite Ones. So please stay aware of all the information that they are going to share with us in our station. And also we want to mention that in our next webinar, which is going to be in 8 days, we're going to have the participation from GE Aerospace. Please stay aware as well of our social media, since we are going to be publishing the next title and also the registration process for be part of this webinar also. Well, we will share some general information about FEMIA. And they might be some persons that they do not know what we are doing right now. We are a nonprofit and private association. We were founded in 2007. And we gather the main companies in the aerospace industry in Mexico with different activities such as manufacturing, maintenance, design and engineering, and other services related to the aerospace market. Currently, we have almost 120 members now in different states of Mexico, and our members represent the 80% of the exportation in the aerospace in the country. Currently, the capital of investment of those companies is around 35% of Mexican capital and 65% of foreign national capital. And we have a representation in all the country, and also we collaborate together with other organizations with also the activities related to the aerospace and also with the intention of grow the aerospace industry worldwide. You will see different associations where we are collaborating right now, and also well that the some other organizations that are part of the FEMIA's activities. You will see here our membership. We have a breakdown of different levels. For example, companies that are OEMs, tier ones, tier two, tier threes, companies in migration, and also other companies with specific commodities in distribution, special processes and coding, and some other services. So you will see those logos. All those companies are important for us since they are the base of the development of the aerospace industry from FEMIA. Okay. Also, we want to invite you to the RENAERO, which is the National Register of Aerospace Companies in Mexico. This is a really quick process. You just need to scan the QR code, and you will be redirected to a small survey. It will take no more than 7 minutes. And the intention of this survey is to update the national database that we have. And also with this information, we could create different programs for making different activities with these companies with the intention of receive some programs from the federal government and state government. So please be part of the registration. It will be really quick, and all the information will be confidential. Also, we want to invite you to the Seminario Se Proveedor Aeroespacial, which is happening in the next month, in March the 20th. We will have B2B meetings. Also, we're going to have conferences. And those conferences are led by the companies in the aerospace sector, such as Safran, Lateco Energy, Aerospace, Collins Aerospace, Bombardier, and also AMT, which is a SME company in Mexico, and other sponsors such as PRI NATCA. They're going to be with us, FAMEX, the state government of Sonora, Iberdrola in Mexico, Criticat, and ADSQ. All this information is going to be handled by them. So we invite you to be part of this seminar, which is going to be in Hermosillo, Sonora. Also, we are having the self-assessment. If you want to launch into the aerospace market, we can help you with this self-assessment for giving you some general recommendation for being part of this market. Also, if you would like to be part of FEMIA, you can scan also this QR code, and we will arrange a meeting with you just to give you the offer of FEMIA and also how we can help you to grow your business in Mexico. Also, I would like to introduce our staff. I'm going to start from the ladies. So we have Pamela Arellano, which is our Operation Director, Monica Vega, which is our Promotion Director, Dulce Diaz, she's our Manager in Memberships, and we have Aileen Delgadillo. She coordinates all the agenda from our CEO and also from the staff. He is our main focus, contact focus. We have our elect president, which is Mr. Luis Azua, and we have our CEO, Mr. Luis Vizcano. And myself, well, I'm Enrique Maldonado. I'm the supply chain director for FEMIA. We are here for helping you guys and also to get connected with the industry. I want to mention that during this presentation, the chat is going to be available for you. You can share with us your questions, and we will have a Q&A session after the presentation. So you can also include there the company where you are joining, organization or institution where you are right now, and also if you can share with us the country or the city where you are logged in, just to have a better interaction in this way. So, well, moving forward to our today's topic, I want to welcome Dr. Perry Hunter. He's a manager of process material application at Composites One. He has helped manage and grow sales of processes material and composite in North America, and he applies his analytic skills and industry knowledge to identify new business opportunities, develop strategies, partnership, and deliver customer solutions to meet the needs of his customers and partners. So, Doug, welcome to this session. Thank you for your time, and well, this space is ready for you. And also is with us Juan Juarez, and I would like to share this time for you, Juan, and also Doug, for moving forward with our presentation. So welcome, and this is your space, and thank you for your collaboration.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. For those of you that are unfamiliar with who we are, I'm Juan Juarez. I'm the Director of Sales and Operations in Mexico. I did want to mention we'll probably bounce around, Doug and I, on some of the slides that we'll be showing and who we are. If anybody has any questions in Spanish, I'd be more than happy to answer them in Spanish. Igual se los digo en español. Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta en español que quiere ser más claro, por supuesto háganla y con gusto se la contestamos también. Doug, without further ado, pass it to you.
Perfect. Thanks, JJ. Thank you all for coming today to the presentation. Hopefully you find it worthwhile, and we look forward to any conversations and questions and answers towards the end. So there we go. So our vision of Composites One will be valued by our customers as the most dynamic, innovative, and dependable supplier of composites materials. And we're focused on composites. As a distributor of composite materials, we focus all of our attention on the composite materials, and you'll see that in the following slide decks. Composites One is not new to composites industry. The original company was founded in 1940 in the Great Lakes area for the Great Lakes solvents in Chicago. And then through a couple of key acquisitions, we've just continued to grow. One of those was the 2017 B&B acquisition, and then in 2019, the Plint acquisition up in Canada. And then more importantly, for the topic of this conversation today is 2021, the Aerovac acquisition of the old Solvay, Cytec, Richmond Aircraft Products process material line. So leading the composites industry, we have 40 plus stocking locations. We have an organizational focus on creating value for customers and partnerships such as SAMPE, ACMA, IACME, and of course, FMIA. We have over 85 technical sales reps, 10 plus technical support managers, 10 plus advanced composites and aerospace team members, and 80 plus customer service professionals. So if you notice, that's a ratio of almost 1-to-1 of customer service and technical sales. And what that allows us to do is have a more intimate knowledge to help customers with supply questions and those things, and then a heavy technical support staff with the materials, selection of materials, any problems that may arise during the processing of materials. And then, of course, we support over 8,000 customers, and total, we have just under 800 employees. We do have a fleet of our own trucks. We drive an average of 4.5 million miles a year, and we represent some 40,000 plus SKUs. We do hold inventory. That's a critical point. And then, of course, we have 150 in accounts receivable. We have dedicated business development managers and strategic account specialists. Again, this is so that way we can have that one-to-one relationship with our partners as we grow the business together. We do have AS 9120B and ISO 9001 certified locations with freezers and company-owned transportation, which of course we know is significant to the aerospace markets. We have key relationships with aerospace material manufacturers such as ScienceCo, which some of you may know as Solvay, Hexcel, Toray, and 3M. We also highly encourage high-level executive engagement with large OEMs, and of course, we're on the Boeing QPLs. Composites One and Tier 1 OEMs communicate securely via web-based portal. So if at any point we need to share detailed information, we can do that through the secured portal, or a lot of the times that comes into play whenever we're looking at tool renderings and those things, whenever we're helping design a potential layup or a process material kit. The locations and this map, I'll be honest, is always changing as we continue to add. So the headquarters, you'll see the different, what we call DCs or distribution centers. And then you can see some freezer locations, additional stocking points. So you'll notice we also have the Mexico office and quite a few. Unfortunately, the slide deck cut off the bottom, but hopefully you can see that there's quite a bit of stocking points in Mexico and to support our growth into Mexico, which we're excited about. The Tucson, Arizona distribution center for us is kind of the crown jewel for our frozen or time and temperature sensitive materials. It is temp capable down to -25 F. We can current capacity is 700 plus pallets. And of course, it has the backup generator and the rest of the cool storage as well. Overview on materials management. On the left-hand side, this is what typically we see whenever we start to work with a customer, is that large customers, especially in the aerospace industry, you're used to dealing with multiple different suppliers, and some of those may be original manufacturers and such. And so the problem is managing all those lead times and managing the contact within those customer or within your suppliers. What C1 does is we're able to eliminate some of that, and we can communicate all of those needs based off of your demand that you give us, and then we will hold stock and deliver it on whatever cadence that is. If that's weekly, bi-weekly, daily in some cases with some customers. And so that way it helps hopefully allow everyone to be way more efficient. Innovative, dependable, and results. Simplified procurement process, like I mentioned, vendor consolidation. We have predictable deliveries. So if you want us to deliver, let's say on Friday mornings, every Friday, that's exactly the way that we would prefer to do it, is to have those conversations with you as the customer, and then have the deliveries set so that way you can have your logistics personnel ready to receive the materials, and then it helps easily plan deliveries. Forecasting and procurement efficiencies, production-ready materials and kits, materials warehoused in the local state-of-the-art freezers, specifically designed for TATS materials, according to AS 9120. We also have point-of-use delivery on Composites One owned and operated refrigerated fleet, supporting requirements daily, weekly, monthly, or as needed, and healthy inventory pipeline, eliminating shortages. So this is all beneficial because what we've seen is, hopefully we never have anything like COVID again that happened a few years ago. But obviously, as that major pandemic happened, we were able to work intimately with our customers, and then we were still able to provide materials as needed, when needed, to our customers. That was a very, very good point of Composites One during a very unfortunate time for all of us. Reduction in on-hand inventory. So what we've seen is now customers don't have to take the full MOQ if the MOQ is large, especially as we know in aerospace, sometimes that's in play. So we will take that MOQ, or the minimum order quantity, and put it into our facility, and then release it as needed on a weekly basis or daily, or as you see fit. We eliminate high inventory cost and improve cash flow. And then of course we can eliminate third-party cold storage, which some customers have had in the past. And then of course for us, it's also the technical support available for quick response and on-site quality assessments. This is really where the magic of Composites One happens, in my opinion, because we stock the materials based off of your demand, we send the materials based off of your release, but then we also bring technical experts in so that way we can help understand if there's ever any issues, or if you're looking for efficiencies. We can provide ability to provide less than MOQ quantities for research and development, especially to sub-tier suppliers. Sometimes it's not beneficial to buy a full MOQ if you're going through an R&D. That's really where that conversation between our technical sales rep and the customer comes into play, so that way we can understand your need and help you get the materials that you need. Prompt emergent material requirement support, and the qualified process list, the QPL, which, I'm sure that everyone on the call is pretty familiar with the qualification process, but records retentions aligned with customer requirements. Some common aerospace specifications, depending on what revision that you're looking at. If it's the latest revision, you can possibly start to see Composites One / Aerovac listed on these. So BAC 5317, 5578, ACS MRS 10001, BAE, GA, MEP, and there's literally thousands and thousands of other ones. Whenever, again, if you remember or recall earlier in the presentation, and I talked about the acquisition of the old Solvay process materials, whenever we incorporated that into the business, and then that is now rebranded as Aerovac, that allowed us to ultimately have all those specifications and the materials to be able to supply to those specifications. Under, again, depending on what revision that you're looking at, we might be listed as either Richmond or Cytec or Solvay. We're working diligently to update those specs on a daily manner with the OEMs or the spec holders. We do have access to all of these specs. We might not have the rev that you're looking at, but those can come up in conversations while we go down that path. Composites One materials. So again, here is just a high-level overview. Again, we're focused on composites, so pre-preg, adhesive films, primers, glass, quartz, carbon. On resins, we offer, of course, a multitude of epoxies and vinyl esters, core materials, syntactics, and PMIs. We also offer a ton of the process materials, which is the films, the breathers, and the mold releases that we discussed. And then, of course, regular shop supplies. So abrasives, sealers, tapes, and etc. Now let's talk about Aerovac. So Aerovac is the second largest manufacturer of process materials. We have global locations. We in France, Italy, UK, in the US, and South America. All of those sites for us are AS 9100. And then we have on that side of the business, we have 240 global team members and a full line of process materials with, of course, experienced technical support teams. We do offer kitting on process materials, and that kitting facilities are located in France, Italy, and in Salt Lake City in the US. And then we do manufacture film, of course, and that manufacturing of the film is in Italy. And then we have a fully functioning lab if you're looking for any type of lab or analytical data to support maybe the qualification of new materials. Here's the lineage of the Aerovac. So if you go back, you can see the creation of MedLab, and then you'll go through and see that it changed to Aerovac acquired Umico in 1998. So for some of our European counterparts or European specs, you might see the old Aerovac name, which is why we rebranded this business unit as Aerovac. And then, of course, it transitioned into Cytec in 2012, and then into 2015 from Cytec into Solvay. And then in 2020, Composites One announced its intention to purchase Solvay's process material business, which, of course, now we know as Aerovac. One of the benefits of Aerovac that we've seen really in the last 4 and 5 years is an increase from requests with especially aerospace customers is kitting solution of process materials. So a lot of customers now are purchasing broad goods or full width materials, and then they're trimming them and cutting them as needed. With a kit on process materials, it increases productivity, it decreases waste, minimizes unnecessary material handling, it reduces bulky master rolls, and reduces training commitment for new employees. And it also represents one part number for all the products that are in there, including vacuum bags and streamlining the purchase process. So this is, to be honest, where I spend the bulk of my time whenever I'm talking with aerospace accounts and partners, is because we're trying to get as many parts out of the door as possible with as few defects. So process material kits fit really well into this scenario. Some of the new products that we've highlighted or brought to the market in the last few years is SV4000 or StretchVac 4000. And so for us, this has been something that we've highlighted, and I've got a short video that I'd like to share with the team.
It's an extremely robust film that's good up to 400 degrees plus. It helps in a variety of cure methods, including infusion of small parts, oven, and/or autoclave. Is a global supplier of vacuum bagging and other process materials. Whether it's from a local Aerovac site or one of the 40+ Composites One distribution centers in North America, or through our network of global distribution partners, wherever you are, we're close by with Aerovac materials. To find out more information, visit our website, contact your local Composites One or Aerovac rep, or our customer service team.
So what I've seen over the last few years, to be honest, and I've been in composites for quite some time, is I've seen customers lose parts because of a vacuum bag dries out or it bursts because of high pressure in an autoclave and etc. Now, obviously, some of this can be mitigated with pleating. Something else that can be done is that with this film that we've developed, the StretchVac 4000, it has higher elongation, and it's a great film for high altitude and low humidity environments, which is generally pretty brutal on vacuum bagging films. Another product that we wanted to highlight is what we call Infuply 2. So this is a combination material primarily used as a flow media and release film. That's what it is, but it's used in the infusion process. And the nice thing is that since this is a knitted mesh, it conforms really well, and it allows the part to wet out through the Z-axis. So I've got another video.
This is one of the newly developed products from Composites One and Aerovac. This is a combination material that we call Infuply 2. This is a knitted flow mesh that is adhered to a hot per P16 release film. This is a fantastic product for flow media applications and infusion that helps wet out your part very quickly. Using Infuply 2 is a great way to save time and increase efficiency. It is a combination material, it goes down extremely quick. It is two materials in one. Because it is a knitted mesh, it is also highly conformable. Aerovac is a global leading supplier of vacuum bagging and other process materials. Whether it's from a local Aerovac site or one of the 40+ Composites One distribution centers in North America, or through our network of global distribution partners, wherever you are, we're close by with Aerovac materials. To find out more information, visit our website, contact your local Composites One or Aerovac rep, or our customer service team.
So between those two materials, hopefully what you're coming to understand is that it's not just the materials, it's also the technical expertise that we can come in and help partner with you as the customer, whether it's infusion, oven, autoclave, whether it's time and temperature sensitive materials or process materials or any combination thereof. Of course, it's the quartz, the glass, the core materials as well. Supporting services. Of course, I just mentioned the technical service. We have all of our technical sales reps are in the field daily calling on customers and partners. And then, of course, they have a huge support staff behind them with industry experts in advanced composites, process materials, or technical service managers. We also have the incoming, receiving, and shelf life extension and testing. And then, of course, the electronic record retention, kitting and converting of composites materials as well. So some of the benefits of working with Composites One is obviously that we mentioned. You have material stored close to point of use, dedicated inventory. You have a healthy inventory pipeline. We will keep record retention, so that helps with customers. Technical assistance, clean room for conditioning provides quick response to quality issues. Labor reduction, converting and testing and procurement. And then, of course, we pride ourselves on innovative, dependable, and results. So that's the end of the presentation for me. I'll stop there if we want to open it up for questions.
Okay. Well, we would like to know if someone from the audience will have some questions regarding to this composite material that we already were talking about. And also remind you that we can have also questions in Spanish, as Juan mentioned. We will have the opportunity for answering this question also in Spanish. So maybe the first question that we could ask, though, it's regarding the technical support or technical information that you can share about this and some other products by Composite One. What happens if some company would like to know more about a specific material or how to apply or to use this kind of processes or products in their current productions that they have?
Yeah, great question, Enrique. So thank you. So my contact information is listed here. We also have the Mexico sales office, which is the 52686-596 phone number. And then my email is also listed on this presentation. The technical assistance, to be honest, I personally, I live in Oklahoma, but I'm in Mexico at least once a month for at least a week. And it's working with our customers because our customers and partners in Mexico, we know are strategic, and understanding and defining what needs to be done from a process standpoint and helping you be successful is how we're successful.
So there's a constant communication for this kind of technical support that you can offer through those products. I'm not sure if you would like to add something else, Juan. I see that you turned on your camera.
Yes. So the best way is for the customer to engage our sales team. And once our sales team understands what you need, your questions, we'll engage Doug or somebody from our technical team. It's not always Doug. We've got another 8 people that work with us on technical support. So depending on what your need is, we'll put the right resource at your facility to to walk you through those and help you with those needs are. Doug is our presenter today, and he's one of the aerospace focused persons with Composites One / Aerovac. But like him, we have another 8 people like him that help us out throughout the country.
Thank you so much for that addition. And also, we got our first question here in the chat. It comes from Ricardo Dominguez, and he mentioned that is it possible to train our employees, and what kind of levels of training is that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I've seen that question come up a lot in the last few years, especially as new technicians come onto the floor and they might not have the expertise. So we can absolutely work with and partner with the customer to do some training. And then of course, these are things that working and partnering with Composites One, we can sort out. We would need to obviously understand the process, whether that's infusion, oven, or autoclave, or define what specifically we need to maybe do a lunch and learn or a half-day training or something like those.
Okay, thank you. Is there a possibility that we can mention some partnership or some training that you have developed here in Mexico, or what could be the some of the hints that you can mention during this process of training or technical support?
Mm-hmm. So I think JJ might want to come off of mute for this one, but last year we did a training event I think it was in Querétaro, right? At Chemtrend's facility, JJ? And
correct. Yeah, so what we do is we're focusing on having a school or a mini workshop where we invite customers. For example, we had one in Querétaro, like Doug said, in late summer last year, and we had approximately 60 people come out, and what we showcased there was land, air, and sea. So a little bit of aerospace, a little bit of vacuum, but it was more focused towards closed molding. So like that, as our customers' needs are, in this case, it's aerospace because we're working with you guys. But if there's the opportunity for us to set up a workshop in a specific area, or work with a cluster, or through the FEMIA, or through one of the local seminars, we could put something together and come in and have our experts show the different processes, including materials and the process itself and the best practices. So, I mean, going back to some of the questions, one of the earlier questions about what level do we show? We show from elementary level to high level expertise. We've got people that have worked in the industry, for a number of years. I myself, for example, have been in this industry for 30 years. Doug, very similar. And like Gus, we have different levels of expertise, whether it's aerospace parts doing, like Doug said, autoclave, or open molding or closed mold, or you name it.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, thank you. We do have another question complementing the previous from Ricardo Dominguez, and he mentioned about, what about composite machining? Is there something that you can help with that?
I'm sorry, composites what? Machining?
Composite machining. I will
Machining.
assume machining processes with composites materials.
Well, we don't do any type of machining, but we can point you to some of our customers that do machining.
Okay, thank you. We have another question from Pablo Chávez de A21. I will ask that in Spanish. Dice, ¿ustedes ofrecen asesoría sobre los nuevos procesos y tecnologías en la industria aeroespacial? No sé si pudiéramos por ahí complementar esa pregunta, Juan, como
Sí,
anteriormente
claro.
mencionaste.
Claro que sí, lo que él mencionaba, como mencionaba en inglés hace unos minutos, es nuestro capacitaciones son desde elementales hasta colegiales. Tenemos diferentes personas que podemos enseñar los procesos que necesitan, aún los nuevos que están entrando en la industria aeroespacial.
Perfecto. Y por aquí nos pregunta que si nos pudieran comentar algo general sobre este tipo de materiales compuestos en México, si, cómo ven este tipo de productos actualmente.
Actualmente el mercado mexicano está creciendo a pasos enormes, ¿no? Especialmente en el área aeroespacial vemos un gran crecimiento en Querétaro y en Chihuahua, Tijuana, Baja California, en Sonora, donde se están arrimando están arrimando más y más trabajos de esto. En cuanto a los compuestos, nosotros por eso es que estamos abriendo mercado en México. Estamos viendo un gran crecimiento en todas las áreas de compuestos y estamos metiendo esos materiales para tenerlos cerca del cliente y poder proporcionarlos al momento.
Perfecto, muchísimas gracias. Muchas gracias, Juan, por la aportación. Por aquí tenemos another question from Abel Gutierrez, and that's for Dow. He said that you listed specs numbers on one of your slides. How can aerospace partners of Aerovac that see the C1 better understand the totality of items listed on each spec? What Aerovac carries in stock or can supply clients with? I'm not sure if you can give us additional information about that, though.
Yeah, so while I listed some common aerospace specs, and those are commercial aircraft specifications, really it's to hopefully inform the audience here that if you're working in the aerospace and composites parts, anytime that there's a spec involved, if you can just let us know what that specification number is, we can pull that specification number up, and then we can give you a list of all the different materials that we can supply that meet that specification. Here, we're talking about process materials and or time and temperature sensitive materials. But to be honest, some of the specifications, as I go through them and I'm helping a customer with a certain material or a certain process, there is a long, extensive list of materials that Composites One can carry and offer to the customer. And so that is an important point that if you can tell us what that specification number is that you're using, then we will start to have that conversation with you on all the materials that we can supply. Again, Composites One is focused on composites, so we carry a wide array of materials.
Okay. Thank you so much for that response, though. So also to remind the audience that we are on our Q&A sessions, and I would like to ask about composites materials, and also, for example, going back to some processes that use this kind of products. For example, if there are some companies that have some quality issues and they they are start looking for understand the root cause for those for those problems, because sometimes the companies are focused on the current process. They do not know about the raw material and how it needs to be handled, or some tools that could be considered for doing some specific processes. I'm not sure though if you can let us know something about the experience of Composite Ones in this kind of situation and how you can support companies.
Yeah, so that's a fantastic question, Enrique. Thank you, because that's honestly that's what drives me to get up every day and work with our partners and customers, is because I need and want you as the partner and the customer to be successful and get more parts out of the door with the best possible lamination and or quality perspective possible. So understanding how materials work, offering the materials, in my opinion, is only part of the solution. The technical expertise to come in and understand and define a problem whenever it happens, and then work with you on a resolution, is really where Composites One separates ourselves from a lot of other customers or suppliers. So as an example, phenolics for phenolic resins, for example, in aerospace can be extremely problematic to process. And some of that is due to humidity and some of these other things. Porosity in your parts is something else, right? Cosmetic defects is another thing. So there's a multitude of things that whenever myself and any other technical support comes in to help the partner and the customer, we look at it holistically and try to define what is going on with that, and then hopefully bring a solution that can be beneficial to the customer. And that comes through intimate working of Composites One and the customer and the partner.
Okay, thank you so much, though. We do have another questions, and I think it's related to quality issues. Sorry about that, but Nora Gonzalez asked us about how do you ensure the quality of your current products? I think as a general overview, but if you can share something about that, though.
Yeah, of course. So because Composites One we have AS 9120 certified warehouses, and then we also have the AS 9100 manufacturing sites. And so, of course, we have to have a robust quality system in order to make sure that it meets the specifications, that the requirements are met for delivery, if it's a specification on logistics or labeling or outlife and those type of things for time and temperature sensitive materials. So we take pride in the fact of knowing that we have a robust quality system. And obviously, as we know, as we've all been in manufacturing before, as an incident may happen, we're going to report that internally, and then we will investigate it holistically, and then we'll come back to you with a solution so that way, hopefully it doesn't happen again. And so, in aerospace specifically, the quality protocols for us, we pride ourselves on.
Thank you so much, though. Also, for example, going back about the quality assurance of products based on the distribution as the norm that you mentioned, could you mention as a general overview how you ensure the shelf life of products during the transportation? Because some of the products, they have a strict control on temperature, humidity, and all that. I'm not sure if you can go a little deep on that comment, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I've been in the industry for quite some time, specifically around prepregs, advanced composites, and process materials. So I understand holistically some of the issues that might come about with storage and transportation of time and temperature sensitive materials such as prepreg and etc. So if you think about the presentation earlier, I mentioned sometimes the MOQs, or the minimum order quantities, on prepreg, for example, are very large. And so we, of course, have temp recorders that are requested whenever we bring those materials in, and then those data loggers or temp recorders can also be spec'd out depending on if it's one per pallet or one per box or whatever that you request whenever we ship it from you or from us, I'm sorry, to you. And so that way you have a record of any potential outlife implications. And then of course, we're gonna hold that material in one of our storage locations, our freezer storage locations. And if needed, if it is a requirement to, let's say, get an expedited shipment of a time and temperature sensitive material to you, then that's going to be a conversation where we might recommend dry ice, for example, on prepreg. And so that way we can make sure that we're not negatively affecting the outlife of the material. Because at the end of the day, for us, we want to make sure that you're building the best parts with as little risk as possible.
Thank you, Doug. We do have another question from Pablo Chavez, and that's for you, Doug. And he mentions about how do you see the Mexican aerospace industry of Mexico? I'm not sure if you can share your personal opinion.
I love it, to be honest, because it's growing ever so rapidly. Again, I'm in Mexico at least once a week, almost every single month. And then whenever I hit the ground, I'm visiting as many partners or customers as possible. I absolutely love and adore the growth potential that I see in Mexico with aerospace because of all the parts that I see being built in Mexico. Sometimes, unfortunately, what I've seen, and it's not just in Mexico, but it's across the US and in other countries that I support as well, is I've seen a degradation in what I would call tribal knowledge of laminating or building parts. And that's really happened over the last 5 years. Some of that can be attributed to the slowdown of aerospace during COVID, and then some older, more tenured experts left the industry. And then as the new generation comes in to take that torch and run on with it, not all of these things can be resolved in a training document. Some of it takes through time, right? And so this is really where, as I go to Mexico and I work with the technicians on the floor, it's helping them be successful so that way it's a prideful moment for them because now they've learned something that can help not just them personally, but also the company that they work for.
Thank you, though. And well, we're almost on the time for our webinar, but I would like to have maybe the last questions. The last question regarding composite material. If there are some company that is currently working on a specific commodity in interiors mainly, which will be the best way to start a better communication from you? What you will need from them in order to have an initial conversation, maybe a specific support or some offer with them? What's the information that you may need from them in order to start working together?
Yeah, of course. So I think JJ said it best earlier, but there's I'm on the technical support side. We have 8 representatives in Mexico. So the first thing that they would like to do, or what we would like to do, is to have that conversation with one of our points of contact in Mexico that are local, and then they'll involve me as needed. And then really it's understanding what parts that you're producing, what specification that you might have to produce those parts to, and then any issues that you're having. And some of that can be resolved via a Teams meeting or a Zoom meeting or phone call conversations. And then really it's an in-person meeting at some point to truly understand what's going on and any implications that might have.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that last comment. And also, I would like, well, we have a couple of questions. I'll send it to you by email because right now we are over the time. But Doug and Juan or JJ, would you like to have a final comment about this session that we had today? If you can share with us.
Certainly, we really appreciate it. Like we said in the beginning, everyone joining. We are new in the distribution business in Mexico. When I say new, I mean within the last 12 to 16 months, we've done we've grown in a very rapid pace. We expect to continue to grow in a very rapid pace. We've got new locations coming in for the country. We've got 6 identified where we want to place new distribution centers with freezer capability, refrigeration capability. So we're always looking out for what is our customers' needs, and that's where I think somebody mentioned the measure of our quality systems. We don't just have them listed. We measure them on a daily basis with our customers. We do have a scorecard that we keep internal and external with our customers as well. So we do measure that with different levels. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to send us an email, reach out to any one of on our team. We're open to hear whatever it is that you guys need or wherever we can help.
Well, once again, we want to thank you for having some time in your agenda and for helping us on this today's webinar. And in name of FEMIA, we want to thank you, Dove and Juan, for helping us on sharing this information about composite material. From our point of view, composite, it's something that is growing so fast as well, because it's an alternative to having more strong structures with less weight, and also it's something that OEMs and tier ones are seeing as an opportunity for migrating a specific process from metal mechanical processes to composite materials. We're seeing not only in interiors, we're seeing also this in critical parts such as engines and some other applications. So we want to thank you for having us here, for sharing this information with you. We hope to keep in contact with you for maybe doing this workshop that you mentioned. We are open to that. We're committed to helping you in organizing it. And well, once again, thank you for your time. Hope to see you here in one of our next webinars, Juan and Dove.
Absolutely.
And well, also we want to thank you to all the audience for attending this webinar. We will ask you for following us in our social media, such as Facebook, X, YouTube, LinkedIn, and also in our email, contacto@femia.com.mx. And also to invite you to stay aware about our social media, since we're going to be mentioning about our next webinar, which is going to be with GE Aerospace, and it will be related to safety. So thank you, and thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next week. Have a great day, and thank you for joining.